What's happening, everyone? I hope you're all having a great day. As you can tell from today's title, we're discussing this nifty thing. This is Canon's 35mm f1.4. And out of all the lenses that I own or that I've worked with, this has to be by far one of my favorites. It drastically changed my career as a professional photographer. I purchased this lens actually a long time ago, and even to this day I use it more than any other lens that I have. From fashion shoots, lifestyle, architecture, nature, you name it, it is one of the most versatile lenses that I own. So what better way to show off this lens than in action? Here are a couple reasons why every photographer or filmmaker should consider purchasing a 35mm. Reason number one, it's a prime lens. This gives it many advantages, but the major benefit of a prime lens is how crisp the photos are. There aren't as many moving parts or layers to the glass, so you get the clearest image essentially possible. You're also not caught worrying about what focal length to shoot at. Your images end up having a very natural theme to them. Although it's still not the lightest lens in the world because of its solid construction and glass, it's still fairly small body for your everyday shoots, especially if you plan to be less conspicuous. It's not too wide where you start to lose focus on a subject or detail, but it's not too much zoomed that you start to feel constricted in tighter environments. For some of us, not having the option to zoom may be limiting or constricting, but for me, it really helped develop my sense of composition over the years, especially in circumstances where I didn't have the option to change my lens. Reason number two, it's wider aperture. Because it's not a zoom lens, much wider apertures are possible, and the 35mm is available at f1.4, which allows you to really capture a narrow depth of field. It's nice because you get a super crisp focus on portraits, plus you get a wider perspective to show more context. I really like the feel and look that the f1.4 aperture provides on the 35mm, especially when I'm shooting fashion or product photography. The lens captures the right amount of bokeh in a very gentle way while also retaining a crisp subject that is in focus. Reason number three, it's useful for low light conditions. Because it's a wider aperture, the lens allows for better low light environments. Its big aperture allows you to shoot in challenging light conditions without sacrificing much of your shutter speed. Opening up your lens to f1.4 allows you to collect a lot of light, therefore opportunity to shoot low light portraits with faster shutter speeds. This also allows you to keep your ISO low and therefore helping you to avoid digital noise. Reason number four, it's a great option for filmmakers. The look of a 35mm is very familiar. Imagine viewing a scene through an ultra wide angle lens or a telephoto lens like a 200mm. Those tend to render a scene that isn't familiar to our naked eye. With the 35mm, you get a result that closely mimics what you see in your own eyes. It also helps you learn how to compose your shots more creatively because it forces you to move around to find your positioning. Using a 35mm has taught me very valuable skills in shooting videography, one of which is how to compose my work more creatively. Because I don't have the option to really zoom in and out on a subject, I have to change my positioning by physically moving around with the camera. And this in turn has created a really unique way of moving around and capturing frames that I typically wouldn't be able to if I just had a zoom lens. Reason number five is versatility. Like its cousin the 50mm, a 35mm lens is known for having excellent versatility. If you use it on a full frame camera, you get the standard view, but pop it onto your crop sensor camera and you get a much longer effective focal length. This is also great for portraits. Versatility extends further than just focal length. It's also great for shooting a variety of content. Like I mentioned previously, I use this lens for everything. It's great for cities and architecture, portraits, nature. It's a very versatile lens. So there you have it. Those are some reasons why the 35mm is a great option for any photographer or filmmaker. So the next time you go and think about purchasing some glass, consider the 35. It might actually change your perspective. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you do have any questions, follow me along on Twitter. I'll be answering any questions you guys have there for the rest of the month. And I'll see you all next week. Peace!